Hi, I'm Marshall. I'm the owner of Going Gear, and I'm here in our store in Smyrna, Georgia. This is the extended review of the 1,000 meter beam distance Olight M3XS-UT. Alright, here we are with the packaging of the Olight M3XS-UT Javelot. This is probably the most anticipated light we've had all year. Lots of people asking about this. Lots of people wondering when it was going to come in. Well, it's here now, and the light's incredible. All the hype around it is completely deserved. 1,200 lumens on max output, but the bigger thing is it's 1,000 meters of throw according to the ANSI FL1 spec, which is crazy for a light this size. There's no other production light that's come even close to this in this size range. The closest thing has been the M2X. So you had the M2X at 800 meters, add in some power, add in a little bit larger size, 1,000 meters in this size. It was pretty crazy. You had to get a much larger light and a much more expensive light from a production company if you wanted to get this kind of distance before. There have only been a few on the market. So here's the light. Let's actually set it to the side. Actually, let's take a look at the front again and talk about some of these specs. So you've got 1,000 meters on max output for the throw, 1,200 lumens on max output. On low, you're going to get 360 hours of runtime, and it's powered by 3 or 4 CR123s or 2 18650s. And the way they do that is they actually have an extender that comes with it. So by default, this can run off of 3 CR123s or 2 18500s if you have those. Add on the extender and it'll run off of 2 18650s or 4 CR123s. So that's what the extender is for. We're actually going to use that because we're going to run it off of some of Olight's new batteries. This right here is a battery sleeve. If you want to use this, slide your 3 CR123s in here. It's not required. It doesn't make it work better or anything like that, but it does kind of keep them in place and keep them from rattling around, which is nice. You have some spare parts, so you have some spare O-rings if you happen to need those. Some information about some of their other products. You can always just watch my videos if you want to get all this information. User manual, a bunch of good information in there. And then you have the holster. Let's actually throw the light in the holster just so you can see what that looks like. So the switch actually extends out the bottom, and then you can see you've got the flap over the top, and then you've got on the back, you got that hook and loop, so you can attach that to your belt or pack or wherever else. Big plastic D-ring you can attach it to, and another little slot there. You can slide it on your belt or wherever else you want to put it. So nice holster, protects the light, does a good job. We hear a lot of people that like the Olight holsters. They do a good job on them. Definitely make them higher quality than a lot of the other manufacturers. All right. Another obvious accessory is the case. So it's kind of nice to have a case to put all this stuff in so you can protect the light, nice for storage and everything. We have a lot of people that say how much they like the Olight cases, and a lot of their larger lights, especially like the M3X, the M2X, come with these cases, so it's kind of nice. Anyway, let's set that to the side, and as always, you can get the full specs on our site, goinggear.com. But here is the light itself. So let's zoom in, take a little bit closer look at this guy. So switch on the rear, switch on the side. Rear switch is going to be your activation switch. Let me actually take this off so I can show you their new switches. They're really nice. You're going to see this same switch on the M23, which is about to be released. Whole lot of threads, but really big switch surface on there. So it's got a really nice feel to it, and they also made it where this can tail stand. So this has a really big head on it. It's not a compact light by any means, but this light can tail stand if you happen to want to be able to do that. So you still have a really big surface area that's easy to activate. A lot of guys like to use lights like this in conjunction with the firearm. This might be a little large. It's more for, distance kind of stuff. It's maybe not the best to use with a handgun. But if you do want to do that, you've got this really big switch that's easy to activate, feels good, and it can tail stand. So that's kind of nice. So we're actually going to put the extender on there. Lots of threads. And they're square threads, by the way, so they wear really well. They seal really well. They're just good threads all around. And we're going to put a couple of 18650s in here. So as always, I recommend the Olight 18650s, and these are their brand new 3600 milliamp hour 18650s. So these are the highest capacity 18650s that we currently sell. Really high discharge on them, so if you have lights that demand a lot of power, these are the way to go. So we're going to slide a couple in there, and stick that tail cap back on, show you the operation of this guy. So even still, you can see this is not a large light by any means. You had to get something much, much larger. If you've seen the Olight, the M3XS-UT, much larger light, that big battery pack, that big head to get the 1,000 meters. So you're getting a smaller, lighter, less expensive light and still getting that performance in terms of the throw. So really impressive what they've done with the new technology. So there's the LED down in there. That is the new Cree XPL HI for high intensity. So that is actually a de-domed LED, or I guess it's not de-domed because it never had a dome in the first place. It's actually coming from Cree like that. So previously on the M2X, the M20SX Javelot, what they had done is they had customized XML2 or XPL LEDs and actually removed the dome off them. Well, now they have these coming directly from Cree without the dome, so the little clear plastic dome or whatever the material is that's over the LED itself, it's not on there. So coming from the factory like that, or coming from Cree like that, the tint is a lot better. So the original M2X had kind of a greenish tint to it. It's greatly, greatly improved on the new XPL highs. And the M2Xs have those now. The M20SXs have them now. Basically anything that has a de-domed XPL from Olight all comes with that new XPL high. So it's kind of nice. And you'll see better when we go outside the difference that it makes getting those from Cree. Anyway, operation on this guy. You've got the rear switch, lightly press it. You've got momentary, click it all the way for constant on. Side switch cycles through your different modes. So you have 3 different modes. You can select using the side switch and then press and hold, and it's going to go into strobe. Now, if you look at the user manual or if you look at the specifications, there's also a moonlight. And the way to access that is if you press the side switch while the light is off, and then press the rear switch, it'll go right into that moonlight. And I'm going to talk about the hole in the middle of that because people always ask about that. Pretty much any light with a reflector and an LED, if you get close enough, you're going to see that hole. Pull the light a little bit away, especially this kind of light where it's made to be a distance light. I've got it probably about 12 inches away, and that hole disappears. So up close, you're going to see it, but when you're using it at actual usable distances, that hole disappears. I just wanted to touch on that since people always ask about that. So pretty simple interface. You got the 2 switches, you got the different outputs, pretty easy to get to everything, and you can also quickly get to your max output and strobe just using the tail cap, which this is the way I like to have it set up. So I have the tail cap, or I have the side switch set to the lowest, so you can do the up close kind of stuff, get really good battery life, kind of looking around on the ground or something like that, and then when you need it, quickly press the rear switch twice and it'll go right to the max output. You can click it all the way if you want the constant on to the max. And then 1, 2, 3, and it'll go into strobe. So from off, just using the rear switch, you can get to your pre-selected mode, you can get to your max output, and then you can get to the strobe as well. So it's a really cool interface. It's the same thing that they've used on the M22 and a bunch of other lights. But it's a great interface. It works really, really well, especially when you have the 2 switches. And then I showed you how to get into the moonlight as well. So again, real quick on the interface, lightly press the rear switch for the momentary, click it all the way for constant on, double press quickly and you'll get into the max output 1, 2, 3 times and you'll get into strobe, and then you can use the side switch to cycle through your other outputs, and then press and hold the side switch to get into strobe, and then if you press and hold the side switch while the light is off and then press the rear switch, it'll get into the moonlight. That's super low, really good for up close, really good battery life. Very cool light. So lots of anticipation around this, and it's all completely deserved. Got a relatively compact light, especially if you took the extender off, that does 1,000 meters. That's crazy. I don't have 1,000 meters to show you, but we can go outside and show you a little over 100 yards or 100 meters and give you a better idea of what this thing can do at distance. Hopefully I'll get out and show you what it can do at a longer distance sometime soon. All right, here you can get an idea of the size difference between the M2X and the M3XS. Obviously I have the extender on here, so if I didn't have the extender, it's going to be shortened down quite a bit. And it's not a whole lot larger than the M2X. So you add a little bit of length, you add a little bit of weight, and you can get on that extra distance, and you get that side switch which I think is a better interface. You can see the bezels are actually the same size, so if you have any diffusers or filters or anything like that from the M2X, you can use those. Or if you have any of the old M3X filters, those are the same size. They'll work on any of these different lights. Okay, let's go ahead and take the M3XS outside, and we're going to show you how it does outside. I'm actually going to take the M2X as well, just so you can see the difference between the two. So let's go ahead and go do that. All right, we're outside with the Olight M3XS-UT. Got the big 40 mag light that I always use as a control. Let's try the mag light out first, since pretty much everybody knows what it can do. There's a little tree about 30 feet away. Dock house down there on the lake is about 100 feet away. There's the two of those with the mag light. All right, let's go ahead and try out the Olight. There's your tree. There's your dock house. That's on low. Let's see what it can do on the medium. There's your medium. There's your max output. So super tightly focused beam. You can kind of get an idea of the kind of distances you're going to get out of this thing. So there's the dock house, 100 feet away, lit up super, super well. Obviously a very tightly focused beam. You know, you don't want to use this for up close kind of stuff because you're going to get kind of tunnel vision. Get the S10R or something like that from Olight, and it'll be better suited for up close kind of stuff. At distances, this thing is crazy, and that's where it really shines. Sorry, I couldn't resist that pun. All right, let's zoom back out. And let me show you the moonlight as well, just so you can see what kind of distances you're going to get from that. And I don't know how well you can see it on the screen, but it actually lights up the lighter parts of the dock house pretty well. And that tree, it lights up really well. I can see everything out there. You know, obviously you're going to have to kind of shine it around because it's got that tightly focused beam. And then when you need it, you can just crank it up. It's kind of nice to have the output, or the lower output, for your different situations and stuff. Really impressive output on this thing, really impressive distance on it. All right, we have some more space to work with, so let's go ahead and try this out at a longer distance. We have about 130 yards. Let's try it out at the longer distance. All right, we got some more distance to work with. Let's see what the M3XS can do with some more space. Got a couple targets set up out there, same ones I use for the long distance comparison videos. The one on the right that I'm pointing at right now is at about 50 yards. Second one out there is at 100 yards. The tree line is at 130 yards. Obviously, this thing can do a lot further than this. It's rated for a kilometer. You know, at a kilometer, the light's going to be pretty dim, but you can see it's going to go out to hundreds of yards, and it's going to light things up extremely well. I wish I had more space. Hopefully, I'll get out to a place pretty soon that has more space, and I can show you what this thing can really do. Boat right there is about 20 feet away. You can get an idea how bright the spill is at that kind of distance. You can see the spill alone gets out there pretty well. It's nice and bright. But man, this thing could do some distance. It's crazy. It's laser focused, very, very focused on this. I'll shine it around a little bit. Let me actually show you what the other outputs look like. Make sure I actually had it on the max output. Pretty bad about doing that. But there's your three main outputs, and let me show you the moonlight. And you can see the moonlight, I don't know how it shows up on camera, but I can see the lighter parts of that first target really well. I think it shows up on camera pretty well that it makes it out to 20 feet no problem. So not a whole lot of lumens. You can see what a focused beam will do. Pretty impressive. And then of course you have all those other outputs when you need them. Very, very cool light. Let me show you what it looks like compared to the M2X, since a lot of people have been asking that. All right, here's the M2X on the left. Here's the M3XS on the right. Pretty stark difference. You know, you go from the 800 meters of beam distance up to the 1,000. And you can see the difference in intensity, the difference in the focus. Same size reflector, they're using the same LEDs, but that extra power gives it that extra bit of oomph. Just side by side, we'll kind of cycle them back and forth. Not that the M2X is any slouch. 810 meters of beam distance is crazy for a light that size. But if you don't mind the little bit of extra length and a little bit of extra cost, a little bit of extra weight, a little bit of extra pretty much everything, the M3XS, you can see, definitely gives you some more performance. It's an amazing light. I can't say enough good things about it. You know, I know I'm the one selling them, but as you can see from our site, I have a lot of different lights to choose from, and this is one that I personally use on a regular basis since it came out. It's a really cool light. I'm actually going to throw on another lens here just so I can show you even better what it can do at distance. Alright, so this lens picks up where the other one left off. Let me show you the other couple outputs. And now let's zoom in so you get an idea of what you're looking like if you're looking through a binocular or scope or anything where you're going to be a little bit more up close. This gives you a better idea. You got that nice focused view of what it's going to do at a distance. So it's like sunlight out there. I mean, there's a ton of light coming out of this thing. Nice, really compact, bright hotspot. It's not going to light up a massive area with the hotspot, but the spill is going to light up a massive area. Let me show you those lower outputs. So even that low makes it out to 50 yards, makes it out to 100 yards, makes it out to 130 yards with not a whole lot of lumens. So that XPL high plus that massive reflector plus Olight's driving technology and the high quality batteries and everything give you that kind of distance even on the low output. The moonlight, I don't know if it's showing up on camera at all, but I can see the first target pretty well. You can actually see the lighter parts of the sign down there. I see that on the viewfinder, and then you can just bump it up. We need the higher outputs. I can't say enough good things about this light. I really like it. I'm not a big throw guy. I don't have a lot of use for distances because you can see I kind of struggle to find things over 100 yards. But I tell you what, when I do find things over 100 yards or even at 100 yards, this is the light that I reach for. If you're looking for a distance light, I can't recommend anything other than this. It's a great light, and if you want to get the light, the batteries, the charger in a bundle from us, it'll save you a little bit, and you can get everything from us at once. So there you go. That is the Olight M3XS-UT. Really great distance light, really well made. I like the interface, I like the mode spacing, I like the switch, I like the distance, obviously. If you like it, you can buy it from us at goinggear.com. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach me in the comments or any of my guys at goinggear.com. If you like the video, please subscribe. I do a lot of gear and flashlight videos. And as always, get going and start something. Thanks for watching.